Alright, so today I want to talk about how to face your family in the holidays. So one of the biggest things is sometimes we dread seeing our families because they remind us of our old self that we are no longer and we don't want to be. A very important thing to do is to practice assertiveness. And assertiveness is expressing your feeling without being defensive or being passive aggressive. So without being aggressive or passive aggressive. So you explain what you're feeling, but without blaming or without being just throwing hints here and there. Remember that you no longer need their acceptance to survive. You're a grown adult and you don't need their approval. Accepting that we don't have the need to change them anymore. Letting go of the need of over-explaining yourself, especially when people are committed to misunderstanding you. Remind yourself you don't have to over-explain and convince them of where yourself, explaining yourself. Your family definition of you does not define you. And it's okay if they get upset, if they have a tantrum. That's on them. That's not on you to fix. That's on them. How they react. You can only control how you react. You only have control over yourself, not over yourself. You only have control over yourself, not others. You're not obligated to accept anything either when you're there. I made a decision as a personal choice to not put myself in this position anymore, even though I knew I was trying very hard to be accepted by my family. I was trying to be good to them. They'll never see it. Instead of waiting for that magical day that they will, I accepted that day is not going to happen, and I chose to remove myself from being vulnerable and treated poorly. I got tired of it. It was never going to change. I could only change how I react, and that's how I chose to react, to remove myself. So how do you want to feel these holidays? It is up to you. It's all about you. You make the decision. What's important? How do you want to feel? Be careful too, because when you keep going to that, it hurts your inner self. So think about it. What can you do to feel the way you want to feel these holidays? What do you need these holidays? Address your needs. Start there. Sometimes it is safe to be separated for your health, for your mental health, your emotional health. It is safe for you to choose yourself. It is safe to let go of the shoulds and expectations. It is more important for you to find what energizes you, what fills you up, what nurtures your heart, your version of the holidays. And remember, this is part of my program of the Emotional Resilience Roadmap, where I teach DBT. There are 4 ways you can always face any problem. You either solve the problem by changing the situation or leaving the situation. The second is change your emotional reaction to the situation. Though the problem remains, what steps are you going to take to reduce your distress? So you plan ahead on how you're going to cope with it in a healthy, resilient way, which I'll get to at the end. The third one is, even if this problem stays there, is to radically accept the situation. So you change the emotional reaction to it, acknowledging that the situation can't be helped and you can't change how you feel either, but completely and willingly you accept this change of affairs, and this gives you freedom, accepting the state of affairs. And the fourth is stay miserable, do nothing, or make things worse. If you decide, because you can't change the situation, you're still gonna go, how are you gonna make it less distressful? So one way is to anchor yourself, and you can rehearse. What are they gonna be saying? How are you gonna respond? And if there's any point that you're uncomfortable, then you just get up and say, excuse me, and you excuse yourself and go to the bathroom and regroup. If you ever feel like you're getting triggered or you're losing, just excuse yourself and take yourself to the bathroom. Nobody can say no. And when you're there, reassert your adulthood. Reassert that you don't have to explain yourself or change anyone's mind. You're not obligated to answer any questions you don't want to answer. And until you feel centered again, you can go back. I hope you found this helpful, and I'm so happy I don't have to go through that anymore, but that's a choice I made, it's a personal choice. And I hope you have a wonderful holiday and you continue to put yourself in your self-care, non-negotiables. You continue to put yourself first. Take care.